On a planet far, far away, there lived a boy by the name of David Zinjon, who vlogged every Friday!
Today's episode, we are going to be talking about filming locations. Now, what do I mean by filming locations? In our previous episode, in episode 4, I talked about filming on set. It means normally being indoors when you film. Well, I'm talking about location, as I would like to dub it, location scouting is the topic of this video. Now, what is location scouting? Location scouting is when you go look for locations to film in. Simple as that, right? So, for example, say I want to film a simple conversation, and I need to find a good location to film in. Obviously, I'm not just gonna say, go outside my front doorstep and record. No, that'll be the laziest way to do it. You gotta take action and actually go out and observe your environment. Eventually, you might find a good park to film in. Hell, you may be even lucky to get a restaurant to film in, because we've done that countless times. Well, mainly in Matt's films, he films in restaurant scenes. Me, not so much, but there's room for improvement. So basically, I'm learning from this myself. So or you say you got a location, or you got a restaurant. The owner lets you film there under strict terms. Obviously, there may be a little bit something behind the curtains, but obviously, you tell them who you are. You give them a business card. They'll eventually let you film. When you film on a location, it could be sometimes hard because obviously you have background noise, a lot of things going on. There's people. There are even times where you're filming something, there's always that one guy or one of those people who you're filming, they just look at the camera, keep looking, and it ruins the scene. So you gotta be careful on how you pace your shots. Now, if you film in areas where there's not a lot of people, then it's much better. But you gotta be careful where you film, because you never know what can happen. I'm not saying that it happened to us, but you just gotta be careful on spots you need to film, because sometimes you can film in areas where people don't want to be filmed. That happens. Areas where the police might think you're up to something, it can happen. And mainly, we take the risk in filming areas where normally someone like us, we wouldn't film in, but we took the risk, like filming at a train station for Matt's film Solstice. Matt is so determined that he actually went out. We all went out, filmed on the train. There was people, we were running back and forth through the carts to make sure we get the scene done. We had a feeling we were gonna get stopped by an MTA officer, but eventually we pulled it off and we did it. That's like one example of location scouting. Where else can you possibly film? Ask around. Ask a family member if they know a place that you can go film. Maybe they know someone who owns a restaurant or any type of store to film it. Hell, maybe a business. It's just, you need to just ask around. If you don't ask, you probably won't get it. You're just gonna be looking around for free spots. That's what we always do. But when you ask around, you never know what spots you can end up in filming, and it can make your production much nicer. Instead of filming in one same area that we done before. In 3 years ago, we made probably 4 films that we filmed in the same area. Kind of got boring, so we expanded and we now travel. We go in Manhattan, we go like up, well, not Upper East, like Midtown Manhattan, Lower East Side. We go to Lower Brooklyn, Dumbo. Sometimes we film in Pennsylvania. So now we went from one little area to going all over the area. So hope you enjoyed this, my really explanatory, simple way of locations. It can get more complex when you really need to find like a perfect set. Then that's a whole nother discussion. But for beginner wise and people who just really need to save money, just go look at areas where you don't have to pay. You don't really need a permit. Obviously, you're not a full budget filmmaker, you're an indie filmmaker, so obviously the people will give you a break. And just ask around. That's all you gotta do, just ask. If they say no, deal with it. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Film Friday Talks with David, and I'll see you in the next episode.